finally watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with my brother, and bro, why? This movie started with just baby Rocket and all the other baby raccoons just imprisoned by the High Evolutionary. I'm not even expecting or knowing what this story is going to be about, but when I seen this, I'm like, okay, they're focusing on Rocket, and this is obviously going to be depressing. And it was hard to see that these animals were ripped apart and put back together with bionic arms as if they were like some science project or something. And to him, they were. Even though I absolutely despised him and wanted him to die in the worst way possible, I still think he was a fire villain and made for a great story. Made it a lot more interesting and intriguing. For him trying to be basically God and create these perfect specimens to inhabit Earth. Quick little side note, I think Guardians of the Galaxy movies are the funniest Marvel movies ever. From Lila, Tease, and Flores, the way that he killed them off once Rocket was able to finally escape, get all the necessary tools that he needed, and leave, get up out of there, and he just kills them off one by one, and Rocket is literally watching them fall. And this was shortly after they were talking about how they were going to go to the new world and just do all these cool things together. And just thinking about that right now, that like real life made me sad. Like I felt that in my heart, in my soul. And when Rocket just went crazy on him and started scratching his face up, I was like, let's go. I love the whole idea of this movie basically being dedicated to Rocket, learning about his backstory, his dark past, and just his friends trying to save him, and really showing how much the Guardians, really care for him and, love him. Favorite moments, Gamora was talking about, let's head up out of here. Rocket turned around, he said, no, I got some business to handle. I still got some shit I gotta do. And none of the Guardians said a thing. They ain't say a word. They turned around and followed my boy. Let's go. Rocket gravity boots. The way they made us forget about the gravity boots from when he was talking to Nebula to when he actually finally utilized them for that exact moment. He was preparing for that. He was preparing to fight him because he knew that he was going to use his little abilities and he was going to reverse it on him. Fire. Hallway fight scene, man. The chemistry that this team has, man, this was the longest one shot that I have seen in a movie, and it was perfection. Literally any moment between Mantis and Drax, they literally have a brother and sister relationship. Their dynamic is just amazing. Last but not least, Rocket spinning back to save the baby raccoons and all the other animals that were trapped in a position he was once in before. The amount of growth it took Rocket to not kill High Evolutionary, for all the pain and suffering he caused not only him, his friends, and all the other animals. Character development on 10. Overall, this movie is a 10 out of 10. Rocket for sure became my favorite character. The pacing of this movie was great. The comedy, like I said earlier, was perfect. Shots were amazing. And can't lie, this was my favorite Marvel movie that I've seen in a while. For sure my favorite of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I love how Gamora went back to her own little crew instead of, falling back in love with Quinn, because that would have been kind of cliche. And, Rocket becoming the new captain of the Guardians, the new Guardians that was formed. The movie just ended up perfectly. Like, it was a perfect movie from the beginning to the end. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments.